Hey, welcome to another episode of Let There Be Rock. In this week's episode, we're going to look at the rise and fall of disco. Disco is a genre of music that rose up in the 1970s, mostly in the boroughs of New York. It kind of grows out of the old funk and Motown scene, but it's got a lot of electronic sound to it. It was something a little bit different, and it was a pretty short-lived ride, but man, what a ride it was. The year was 1974, and a reformed band under a new name, originally it was called Patti LaBelle and the Bluebells, now simply called LaBelle, releases their phenomenal disco hit, Lady Marmalade. Lady Marmalade was a song about sex, for lack of any better term, and it was pretty blatant in it. While this was pretty common in rock and roll, it was something different for an all-female band to do this. This is the beginning of disco. Let's listen to LaBelle's Lady Marmalade. You could hear that 4 on the floor beat back there. That's a pretty common beat throughout disco. You could hear the Motown harmonies in there. I can even hear back to the old Southern Celtic sound. That bass is a funky bass. But that right there sounds bluesy. So disco is kind of bringing it all together. Highly produced, kind of like the Motown sound. A lot of electronic, like you would see in New Wave. If LaBelle was the royal court of disco, that court's queen was none other than Donna Summer. Donna Summer releases the 17-minute epic Love to Love You Baby in 1975, and it pushes that sexual envelope further than anyone had ever pushed it before. Donna Summer sings this song that is, well, let's just say it sounds like Donna was having a pretty good time in this. Love to Love You Baby by Donna Summer, 1975. Little falsetto in there. You can hear that funky guitar coming in on one channel. There's that 4 on the floor beat that we're used to. This song was a phenomenal hit on the dance floors in the mid-1970s. It was banned from a lot of radio stations at the time for being a bit graphic.
Do it to me again and again. You put me in such an awful spin, in a spin. You
can hear that funk and Motown in the background. You can hear that bass kind of in front of the beat.
set me free. Love to love you, baby. Love to love you, baby. Love to love you, baby.
To me, the song that most epitomizes the disco sound is 1976 song by the Tramps called Disco Inferno. To me, this is the best example of that 4 on the floor sound we've talked about before. It's just a boom, 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 boom on that bass drum. And it's almost, I heard the drummer describe it as a walking beat, where it kind of makes you want to move. It encourages dancing. Let's listen to a little bit of Disco Inferno from 1976 by the Tramps. Here's that 4 on the floor beat. "40 years later, it still makes you want to move." This to me is what 1976 sounds like. Again, a Motown harmony back there. I can hear a rockabilly to that guitar though. That beat just carries you all the way through. You can't help but move to it. Disco probably reached its pop culture height in 1977 with the genius movie Saturday Night Fever, starring a young John Travolta. It was the story of a man who just wanted to dance, and the soundtrack was provided by the Bee Gees. Bee Gees were these three Australian brothers who had already had a long career in traditional rock and roll, but had been encouraged to explore their falsetto voice. And they kind of, if they didn't invent the disco sound, they became the most important ambassadors of the disco sound. 1977, Stayin' Alive by the Bee Gees. I want you to listen real closely for these falsetto sounds that you get. Again, you've got that funky backbeat back there, but that's Barry Gibb's falsetto. Then the other brothers come in, and you got this real high harmony. It's funny, when I was a kid, I hated disco. And as I've gotten older, I've learned to respect it. Now I kind of dig the sound. It grows on you. Oh, that high note there. So this is the height of disco. And we're going to see from 1977 on, disco's going to start a slow fall but steady.
get this.
Look out, give the kid some room. He's taking over again.
Right.
All right, go, Tony. Don't take it, Tony. Let's go. Right on.
Okay, babe.
In 1978, a traditional Motown sounding band called Chic put out a song that became a disco phenomenon. The song was called Le Freak, and it had people freaking out on the dance floor everywhere. I want you to listen again for that drum machine and that 4 on the floor syncopation in the background. 1978, Chic's Le Chic. Still got that simple 4 on the floor, just makes you want to walk. You've almost got that old blues call and repeat happening here.
I'm sure you'll be amazed. Big fun to be had by everyone. It's up to you. Surely can be done. Young and old are doing it, I'm told. Just one try, and you too will be sold.
One of the formulas of disco was this repetition. Kept you moving on the dance floor. You can hear the influence of new wave that was happening at the same time, where disco and new wave were kind of influencing each other. I mean, I can hear Blondie in this.
Feel the rhythm, chant the rhyme. Come on along and have a real good time. Like the days of stopping as a boy. Now we're free. Oh, what a joy. Just come on down to the 5th floor. Find a spot out on the floor. Freak out. Le freak, c'est chic. Freak out.
The year was 1978. The singer, Gloria Gaynor, and the song, I Will Survive. This became a feminine anthem in the 1970s. It crossed over out of just disco, and it was on top 40 charts. It was playing on traditional rock and roll charts. It was the song that women were singing everywhere. But it's still characteristically disco in its sound. Let's listen to a little bit of Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive from 1978. Those keys opening up are so sweet.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified.
Oh, that high-pitched sound.
I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so
Hear the
many
strings and the
nights
orchestration.
thinking
That's
how to
characteristic of a lot of
get
disco.
along. And I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space.
Some interesting production qualities as it moves from channel to channel. Some of you may have become more familiar to this in the early 2000s with the movie The Replacements. I can see Keanu Reeves dancing to this right now. You know, it's funny, I DJ'd in a club in the late 90s, and this song still got them on the dance floor then. And there's the strings again. Big, super produced, almost overproduced sound. It almost sounds like a soundtrack to it. In 1979, Anita Ward surprised us all with the song Ring My Bell. And it's another one of those songs that young, preteen me didn't understand exactly what bell was being rang. Somehow it got played on the radio, but it still had that sexual undertone that so much of the music of the disco age had with it. Anita Ward had a beautiful, pure, almost angelic voice, but the song, it was dealing with something a little more serious. Anita Bell, Ring My Bell, 1979. Hear that psychedelic sound back there, that kind of electronic pop new wave sound. Again, it's the way they've got the channels divided is amazing. It's definitely got a funky backbeat. I mean, it almost sounds like a song by P-Funk, by Parliament. And there's the falsetto. Those bells that are in there, they're kind of annoying. Those right there, I don't like that. It's just too on the mark, too spot on. So you can hear the Motown style sound back there. This is definitely a pop creation. I think this song had less art to it than it had commercial pop.